to Gunslingers right here. Go ahead.
On the Gunslinger Syndicated Radio Network.
And we're still on with Rick. Rick, one of the things I wanted to ask you is, what do you think about the new $5 bill for ammo?
Not happy about it at all. 500% increase is not cool.
Right?
You knew it was coming.
Yeah. They're trying to do this across the board. They're trying to price people out of it. We're seeing the same thing. They're trying to raise fees for, at different ranges. They're trying to raise fees by tacking on new things. DOJ is out of control, which is coming from Bonta's office. And so we have multiple lawsuits. We have the same thing that we have many sheriff's departments that are raising the fees for CCWs, and so it's starting to feel for most people, myself included, like, hey, you're just trying to price us out of a right, telling us that we can't have a right because we can't afford to have it.
Yep. Right.
And that is something that our forefathers fought against. That it wasn't supposed to be just for elites; it was to be for all the people.
Yeah.
Eesh.
To say nothing of making war on people who can't afford it.
Yeah.
Our rights are not class-based.
No.
We're not.
Well, this has been a pet peeve of mine. I have a bill that is a 2-year bill now. It's 1492, and it's a CCW bill. And part of it is I have been to, as you guys know, I go out and publicly speak, and I've been to several inner city areas, including Compton here in California, and when I sit and listen to a predominantly female crowd of women in their 20s to 70s telling me how response times can take up to an hour, and they literally can't afford to go buy the firearm, get the training, and get the CCW and wait because they also have to take care of their kids. They also have to do other things. And how it's not fair that somebody that lives, 5 miles down the road can't afford to do those things because they're not being penalized at the same level, compared to salaries and everything else. And so,
Sure.
there's only so much we can do to help alleviate that, but that's part of why I was pushing to make CCWs once every 4 years, because at least you could spread that over a 4-year period instead of every other year.
Because it's about $1,000 to go through the entire process.
Mm-hmm. And so, trying to spread that out, because it's really sad when you see these women who, live in tough times, and they're of all colors, whites, Latinos, African American, Asian, etc., and they're moved to tears because they can't take care of their family and protect their family. And they're like, you don't know how many times I've had people shoot things and throw things through the front window, and they're scared.
And that's a state they're trying to make us live in.
College age women who are like, fighting to be able to have a firearm on campus, and then, can I have one in the car? I mean, it's ridiculous. And then, they tell them, oh, well, go run when someone's trying to rape you or assault you.
Yeah.
Go run to a little pole and push a button for a blue light, and we'll have a volunteer student security person get to you.
Get Mortimer over there real fast, and he'll be able to deter the assailant.
Yeah,
when he or she arrives.
Yes, when they arrive, right? Knowing college campuses, but
after he's done smoking his
Right.
But no, I mean, but
Poindexter Patrol.
And that's, I argue from those points because I, am exposed to, various people like this up and down the state. It's why we have a women's program at CRPA called WAVE, Women Armed to Vote and Educate, because we're trying to push back on that.
Mm-hmm. And I just had this discussion with a youth pastor just this week, is that they're trying to limit us to a point where we do live in fear, and that they feel like they're their only protection out there.
And on the state.
And we become completely dependent on them, when that's exactly what we weren't supposed to do. We're not supposed to become dependent on this government. They're supposed to be dependent on us and our choices. And now they're going to make us all into victims, and then after that, we're all going to be criminals. So it's I'm not trying to be mean, because I have, full disclosure, I have family in law enforcement. I served in as a first responder for the majority of my life. And look, reality is we do not have enough EMS, fire, and law enforcement to protect everybody. No,
we don't.
No,
we can't afford it, and we don't have it. which means at any given time, depending on the size of the city, there's not as many people out there to protect you as you want to believe. And that's why when we have fires, when we have earthquakes, I'm never surprised when people are like, there just wasn't enough. Yeah, there never is. Mm. And so that is why you cannot fall into the lie that the government is there to help you. You have to realize the government can't help you. They don't have the resources to help you.
Yep.
And it's such a weird thing where they attack it on both sides, where they try to limit you from protecting yourselves, but then they also tout the speeches of defund this and defund that when they're already
both ways.
When they're already so limited. It's like, again, and that wonder why there's such a big victim mentality in this area and in this state and across the country right now.
Well, like I always say, when seconds counts, the cops are 20 to 30 minutes away.
And again, like Rick was saying, being underfunded and undermanned is a big thing of that.
Yep. Okay, Rick. Well, now that we're all depressed.
Oh, Rick, you know what? Just because someone did bring it up last week and later in the and I don't think I was able to bring it up to you. There was a HR 646 or S163, the Short Barrel Act. They just had feelings about how you felt about it and what you think they're trying to do with that.
So the Short Barrel Act was in Texas. It got passed. There is federal law looking at the same thing. You know, I think a lot of firearms have been villainized. Mm-hmm. And if you really look at, you know, anything built off an AR platform, it's a modern sporting rifle. And it's fine. You know, have there been applications for military? Yeah, but there's also, and people need to remember this, whenever we've had wars, there have been civilian firearms that have been modified to be used in military situations for sniping and other things. So, you know, that route goes both ways. And at the end of the day, it is the person behind the firearm that makes the right or wrong decisions, and it's the person behind the firearm that should be held accountable, not everybody else. And I always liken it to every year, unfortunately, we have somebody who willfully intends to kill people by taking a car and driving into a crowd. Happens every year. Every year. And yet we don't hear, oh, that was a truck, or oh, that was a Nissan, let's go get rid of them. Well, we never hear that. But one person does something wrong, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, well, we need to get rid of all of those.
Yeah. It's the gunman.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's never the carman or the knifeman or the batman. It's always the gunman.
Or in the case of Colorado, the Molotov fireman.
Yeah, there you go.
It's like I tell people all the time, you are more likely as a male to be killed by a female in your life with a hammer while you sleep than you are by anybody shooting you with an AR. Yeah, and that's a proven stat.
But that'll blow people's minds, and they won't believe it. But if they see it,
but you can look it up. It's in the FBI stats book. Every year it comes out, and I tell people, you know, when I went to Home Depot today, there was nobody standing on the tool aisle saying, "Excuse me, ma'am, why are you looking at that hammer?" Yeah.
Can I see some ID?
Our form here, the Home Depot form 1440, and we can let you have that in 20 days.
In 20.
Yeah. Do you have a basic hammer safety card?
They're going to start that.
Need to issue a skills test.
Yeah.
They're going to start just coming down on nail guns just because guns in the word.
There you go.
Cock and gun, watch out.
Rick, I appreciate you staying over, and anybody wants to join, give their time, their money, their efforts, how do they get a hold of you?
CRPA.org, and please, 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 go to CRPA.org, and if you don't join, sign up for the One-Click Politics so you can be in this fight.
Absolutely.
Please, folks.
Yeah, that is an absolute must. And Rick, thanks, and we'll talk to you next week.
God bless you, Rick. Thank you so much.
All right, take care, guys.
Yeah, bye-bye.
Bye.
And again, you guys, they are a huge resource on every avenue, on the political side, on fighting for our rights with the boots on the ground, letting us know what's going on pretty much moment by moment when things pass or do not. The CRPA is not just here for California. They're here for this country, and they're here for all of our citizens, guys.
Yep. They do great outreach as well. Education, firearms experiences for people. Yeah.
And apparently, they've now got the can and string setup going in there, so I think we can take phone calls.
Oh, let's go, guys.
What's that
Crazy
number,
talk.
Jimmy?
Everyone get ready to call in. We're expecting everyone to flood these and break them all over again.
Just to screw this machine up.
Come on. 866-870-5752. Once again, 866 870-5752.
Give us a call.
Yeah.
We have Marianne in Simi Valley, but we're coming up on a break. So, Marianne, as soon as we get back from the break, we'll get to you. In the meantime, as I was saying, gunslingerauctions.com. Don't forget, you can go there, Gunslinger Auctions, gunslingerauctions.com, and go to the Bid Now box. There it is on the computer there. So you click on the Bid Now box. That'll take you to the auction. You do not have to bid, but you can see everything from both days with pictures and descriptions. So much cool stuff in there.
So much. And again, if you guys see anything you like and say you can't be there live, and you don't want to do the internet, there's another button on gunslingerauctions.com to become either a called bidder or a sealed bidder.
Yeah, you can actually, Ben put that together. You can click on it now, and you can put your sealed bids right there.
Yeah.
And again, we do our sealed bids just like, the internet. I won't say their name because they ban me for life again. If you say 500 and it starts at 200, you're the first bidder at 2.25. If it stops there, it stops there. We don't start at your high-end bid. You are just in there with
the
everybody
next high bid.
Yeah.
We're not starting at your ceiling. We're starting at your floor.
Yeah, the only time you will lose out is if it goes over what your high bid was. But other than that, it's a heck of a system. Give us and give us a call. Give us a number, Jimmy.
One more time, guys. 866-870-5752.
You're listening to Gunslingers right here on
the Gunslinger Syndicated Radio Network.
And the Lizard King is going to take us right on out of here.